What's up everybody, Ivan from I'll Get My Tools. Today I'm going to show you how to hang a number of picture frames or artwork perfectly in line, perfectly spaced, with a whole lot of steps. It's going to be very detailed, but trust me, you're going to want to follow along properly, because if you don't do it right, you're going to be looking at this thing the rest of your life while you're eating your SpaghettiOs saying, damn, I should have watched Ivan's video and did this right. So follow along. I got very detailed steps for you, and while you're at it, do me a favor, like this video, subscribe to my channel. I do a ton of DIY, how-to, home renovation, tool reviews, all that kind of stuff. Just subscribe, don't be cheap. Alright, so the first thing you want to do, most importantly, is figure out the center point of the wall space and your height. Alright, so measure out there, lay your tape down. I'm actually going to my island. Okay, my island's 126, half of that 63. So somewhere about here, halfway up, there's your 63. Just put a mark. So I always use a pencil when I do this kind of stuff, alright? I use light line so I can wipe it off after with an eraser, one of those magic erasers, paper towel, whatever. Just be easy. Don't dig it into your wall all crazy, alright? You know what I'm talking about. So I got my first line. You probably can't see it, but it's there. Alright? That's the midpoint of my wall, 63. Now I need your height. Alright? That's 56 and 3/8. Don't worry about the 3/8. Your eyes ain't gonna catch that. Let's just say 56. Half of that's, como se dice, 28. All right, we're at 28. Boom. So that's the middle of the wall, width-wise, height-wise. Now we know what we want to do. So it's all going to depend on exactly what kind of picture frames you have. Do you have 2, 3, 4, 2 layers? Why am I getting a text in the middle of my video? Anyways, so that's going to depend on how many picture frames you've got, all right? So I have 3, an odd number. So that middle line is going to be the middle of my middle picture frame. You got that? You probably don't. This picture frame here, that point is going to be in the middle. And this has to be in the middle, all right? So basically I'm gonna have like one right there and then a second one down here. Now we gotta figure out our spacing between the top, the bottom, and the middle. Again, that's gonna be totally up to what you wanna do specifically. Okay, so my total height is 56 inches. Now I wanna figure out my spacing between those particular pictures. Now I'm gonna have 2 rows. So, this picture frame is 19.5. I've got 2 at 19.5, which is 39, right? So I have 56 minus 39 of total picture is what? 17. So now you gotta think, I'm gonna have 3 spaces, right? A space up there and a space at the bottom, and then one in the middle. So you can just do simple math. Your 17 divided by those 3 spaces, it's about 5.5 inches, all right? So to make it very simple for me and not to get overly crazy, all I'm gonna do is do 6 inches off the bottom, 6 inches off the top, and I know you guys know exactly what 6 inches look like, or maybe 4, but we're gonna go with 6 for now. All right, people, so if you're hanging pictures, you need a level, at least a 2-footer. I got a 4-footer because I'm doing a long run, but you need a level, people. Come on, don't be cheap over here. All right, so we got our midpoint, right? And we just decided that we're gonna do 6 inches on the top, 6 inches off the bottom, spacing. So we're gonna do a nice level line running the length of all of our pictures. So, go 6 inches down, just find your midpoint. Draw a nice horizontal line. Remember, it's a pencil, do it light. We're gonna erase this after. Remember, people, very light. This is just giving us a point of reference. And I have to run it a little bit farther because I got a lot of pictures going up over here. All right, so that's my top. Same thing with the bottom. 6 inches. Pencil mark, very light, nothing crazy. Okay, and a little bit over here as well. First thing that I'm going to want to do, remember we have that middle point. That's going to be the middle of my middle picture frame. I'm going to make a line to go all the way up so I have a point of reference of the middle. Why do I keep saying middle? I don't know. And run this line from the top to the bottom. Same thing, very light with the pencil, all right? I know there's other ways of doing this, but I'm very meticulous in particular, and I want it perfect. So that's why I do draw these lines, kind of to chart out my plot plan, if you will. So we have a top line, which is going to be the top of the picture frame, and then we have a bottom line, which is going to be the bottom of the second row. All right, every picture frame has these kind of hooks. Some might be in the middle, top. This one has them on both sides. Get your tape measure, lift that up, measure from the top of the picture frame down to the top of that hook. Can you see that? That's basically 6 inches. 6 inches is my number. Again, those hooks are 6 inches below. This line is the top of the picture frame. We need another line 6 inches below that. Measure it out. Put a little horizontal line, very lightly. Get the level out again. Now this line is the most important because this is the actual hooks. So it has to be straight the whole run. Do a good job. Make sure the bubble's where the bubble needs to be. All right, now I'm gonna put a piece of tape on these bad boys and I'm gonna mark them off. Watch. All right, we got our picture frame upside down. Get your blue painter's tape. You want to go right to the top of where that hook hanger is, right? Go all the way to the end, cut it. It doesn't matter if you go a little bit long, don't worry about that. All right, so you kind of want it to wrap, it kind of gives it a better play. So right to the top. Perfect. Now, use your black marker, put a mark at the tip of that. Just a little tap. You don't want to get too crazy with this because you want it to be precise. All right? That's all you need. Now you want to make a mark for the center point. Very important. This is what our layout is going to be based on. So it was 19 and a half. Half of that is 9 3/4. So I'm going to actually put a mark on 9 3/4. Taking that off and watch what I do with it. So I have my mark in the middle. I'm lining that up with my intersection point that I already drew. 6 inches below the top. Make sure you're level on this side and level on that side. Looks good. I know it's a little hard to see because I don't really draw too hard on my wall, but this line was the top of where my picture frame are. I went down 6 inches, which is where the tops of the hangers were. So I have my black mark at the exact spot, and this line that I drew on the actual picture is the center point, which aligns perfectly with this center point. All right, that's the first one. Now we're gonna figure out how far you want your second one to be, and then your third one, and that's it. All right, so now we're gonna figure out the bottom picture frame layout. So we have our bottom mark, which was the bottom of the picture frame, all right? So this is the picture frame that we have. So we're gonna measure from the bottom up to get to the top of these hangers right here. So just so it's easier, so you work with gravity, Just turn the picture frame around so the hooks stay down. Now you want to take your measurement from the bottom of the picture frame, even though it's the top, down to the very top of that hook. 13 5/8. That's my number. Again, for our layout, this was the bottom of our picture frame. Now we're going 13 5/8 inch up, and that's where we're going to get our mark for our hangers. So 13 5/8 is right here. And now I'm going to run that line as well with my level. I know it seems like a lot, but this has to be perfect. If not, you're going to hate yourself. Every time you eat your dinner, you're going to look up at that wall and go, what a shitty job I did. Don't be that person. So put the bottom of your level right at the intersection point of the midpoint and the height. Okay. Hold that corner and bring your level down to where it needs to be. Perfect, right there. And do the other side, because we got 700 pictures to hang up. So just like I showed you with the previous picture painting, put your blue tape on it, mark your 2 hangers and the midpoint, which I already did. And now I'm going to transfer that over. So transfer your blue tape to, again, the line that you just made, which is the line that the hangers are going to go. Line it up on the sides. Make sure it's perfectly level. Right about there. Looks good. Spread it out. So we have our bottom picture with the 2 holes, our top picture with the 2 holes. Now you got to figure out the spacing that you want on the sides. Again, that's going to be up to you, whatever you want. All right, so to figure out the spacing for the next one on that side and that side, here's the way I'm going to do it. I want my spacing in the middle and my spacing on the side to be the exact same. It's an OCD thing. So that's our top line, top of the picture frame. Our frame's 19 1/2 inches. So I'm going to come down 19 1/2 and draw a pencil line on that midpoint. This is the bottom of the second picture frame. I'm going to come up 19 1/2 and draw a line. Now I'm going to measure the space between these 2 lines. All right, 5 1/4 inches. So I want this to be 5 1/4 inches, and I want the sides to be 5 1/4 inches as well. So that's what I'm going to figure out. All right, so this is our midpoint. Half of my picture frame was 9 3/4. Plus I want a 5 1/4 space. What's that bring me? 15. So all I have to do is bring 15 and do a mark on that side and run 15 more and do a mark. That's going to give me where the next picture frame starts. Okay? It's a little confusing. You got this. All right, so I got 15 over there. I made a mark. And $15 right there. That's the start of my next picture frame. But I'm going to do the same thing with the tape. I'm going to run another piece of tape, start it, and keep going. And that's all you got to do. I'm going to put 2 tapes there. Watch. Same thing. Run your tape. This time, make sure you do put extra to come down the side there. Very important. And then run it. Cut it. And again, make sure it's lined up to the very top of your hanger. And then still go ahead, put your little dot at the very top. Those are going to be your drill marks later. Okay? But a little different right now. Grab your pencil and mark the very edge of this picture frame. All right, that's gonna tell you exactly where to line up the other line that we just made. We still have our top of picture frame line, and we have our pencil mark. We're gonna align that pencil mark with the line we made from the spacing between these two picture frames. So just line that up. Make sure it's right on your level line and run it. Boom. Perfect, right there. Okay? Same thing on the other side. Have our pencil mark right there. You see it? Again, line it up with that pencil mark. Boom. Perfect. All right. So we have our top 3 pieces of tape with the dots to exactly where we're going to drill our lines. And now I'm just going to do the same thing with the bottom. We already figured out the midpoint, and we're going to move 15 inches from the midpoint to the next picture frame. Put your 15 right on the dot, hold your pencil with the tape, boom. Same thing on the other side. 15, hand at the tape. All right, boom and boom. Put another piece of tape there, another piece of there, and we're good. All right, so we have our 6 picture frames laid out. Again, remember this blue tape is for the actual holes for the hangers, not the top of the picture frame. All laid out, the hard part is done. Now's the easy part, drilling. Question is which anchors to use. There's obviously a bunch on the market. These are actually my favorite, these drywall anchors. I always get the ones that are like 50 pounds. Obviously it's overkill because the picture frame is probably 2 pounds if that, but I use them for everything in my house, hanging all kinds of pictures, paintings, mirrors, whatever. These are my favorite, super easy to use, and I haven't had a blowout yet. And this is it, all right? And it comes with a screw. The screw obviously goes in there. It's got a sharp tip on it, as you can see. It says no pre-drill, but I always like to pre-drill. It just makes it easier. Sometimes it just won't catch and it'll just keep spinning. So I always do like a 3/16 drill bit and just pre-drill all my pilot holes first. And then these go in super easy. Grab the drywall and lock in. So let me show you how I do that. So like I said, 3/16 inch drill bit, find the pilot hole. I'll just do these 2 real quick for you to see. Put it right on there, drill through. And remember, drywall is 1/2 inch thick. This is obviously a 4 or 5 inch drill bit. You don't want to go all the way through, possibly hit a pipe, electrical outlet, anything like that. Like a quick little pre-drill to allow that anchor to catch and smoothly go in. All right, so just a little pilot hole, if you will. Same on this side. All right, that's all you got to do. Take off the tape. Using a drill, put your drill on the lowest torque setting and at the fastest speed. You don't want to blow through and mess this up. So, all right, 1 small torque. They say the hand tightenings will be here all day. Just use the drill, man. Nothing wrong with that. Put it right in there. I like to hold kind of like the top. Slowly let it spin. Boom. That's it. You want it basically flush with the sheetrock, and we're good. Now I can do this side. Boom. Now you got your screws. Put 1 in each. Don't go all the way through. You're probably gonna leave about a 1/4 inch out, so it's enough to grab the hanger. Depending on what kind of picture frame you have or art, you might have to go a little bit out or a little bit more in. It depends. See what you gotta work with. But I usually just leave about a 1/4 inch. repeat that for however many other ones you got, and you're good. And then after you get all your screws placed in, just take your fancy picture. This is a Photoshop dock in the middle of I don't know where, but I'm not showing you my family because y'all crazy out there. Anyways, just grab one of the hooks, put it right on the screw, and the other falls in. Boom. Como se dice. So here's the finished product, looking grown and sexy. Everything's perfectly spaced, perfectly level. Now I knew it was a lot of steps. Might have been a little over your head, but just slow down the video and watch it again. It's very important to take your time with the layout and pre-drilling of the holes to have the end result. I'm telling you right now, if you don't take the time to do all of that, you're gonna look at this crooked, lopsided, and you're gonna hate it. So take the time, do it right, take pride in your house. And for any other how-to, DIY, home construction, renovation, tool reviews, and all that other good stuff, do me a favor, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.